Hello, parents of Camp Falling Spring. Welcome to the parent info session. By the way, that's what this is. If you somehow got to this broadcast by accident, now's your chance to escape. We promise we'll only stare a little bit. My name, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brad Hill, and I've had the privilege of directing Camp Falling Spring for the past 22 years. It's been a joy. It's really been a privilege. And I'm excited to say that this year I will not be directing Camp Falling Spring by myself, but Sam Ray, our new youth director, will be directing along with me. And I'm very excited to introduce her to you. So she's going to come in and share a few words with you.
Hey, everybody. I am super excited to get to direct camp along Brad this year and get to spend some time with your students. I think camp is one of the most impactful things that we can do in a youth ministry year. When your students are able to get out of their normal routine and away from all the distractions of their everyday life and get to disconnect and really have this opportunity to hang out with other students and interact with our awesome camp staff who are all there with the same focus and heart and mindset to grow closer to God, learn more about Him, and find out how they can better live their lives to serve Him. It's just an awesome thing. And through, our evening messages and prayer partners and the different things that happen during the week, it's a great opportunity for your teenagers' hearts to really be open to how God is speaking to them and working in their lives. So I'm super excited for camp this summer here in just a few weeks. I'm sure your students are getting super excited as well. So we're really looking forward to that. I hope that they are praying and preparing their hearts for how God is going to speak to them during camp this year. So I'm going to have Brad come back and go over some of the logistical things for camp this year. So here's Brad.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, so got to go over some details. I don't know if you're a detail person, but it's good to know the details. So who will be at camp? Camp is for students who just finished 7th grade through 12th grade. So 8th through grads going into camp. We have amazing campers, amazing staff, and our speaker is Marcus Elbel. I know him as Marky. Marky was involved in our youth ministry when he was a student. I led a Bible study at Shippensburg University that he was in, and he has such a hunger for learning, a hunger for God. And I'm so excited to hear what God is going to say through Marky this summer. So be praying for him and that God really speaks through him. There's an info packet available. I linked that whenever you signed up. You should have gotten that in email. It's also on the camp page of our website, which is in the description of this video. If you just click the info packet button on that camp page, you'll find the packing list and the times, when to show up, what to bring, all that good stuff. So a little bit about arrival and the first day. First of all, please bring your kids to camp or carpool. Kids are not allowed to drive or have a car at camp. If you have extenuating circumstances, please talk to me and we'll work that out. We've never had a problem with that in the past. Last names A through J should arrive between 5 and 5:20. Now, this is one of those times when you don't want to be early. It's always good to be early, but our staff works really fast in the afternoon to try to move in and prepare camp and have a staff meeting, get everything ready. And so it's easier when campers arrive right around 5 instead of at 4:30. It takes about 25 to 30 minutes from Chambersburg, and the directions are in the packet. So A through J, 5 to 5:20. Last names K through Z, 5:20 to 5:40. As you come up Stonehouse Lane, which the directions will lead you to, you'll find a bunch of cars parked along in a field. And we'll have signs there that may say 8th grade girls. Find your sign for your cabin or cabins, and you can drop off luggage. The counselors will put your luggage in their trunks, and then that will be taken over to the cabin a little bit later. Feel free to introduce yourselves to the counselors, meet them, talk with them, If you have any questions, feel free to let them know. Sam and I will be there. Feel free to ask us questions as well. The camp nurse will be a little bit further up the Stonehouse lane under the canopy. You'll see her if you have any medications to give the camp nurse or just want to talk with her about anything. Please do that then. If you would like to bring a dessert that we will use for desserts throughout the week, feel free to do that. We love desserts, and you can just drop those off at the Stonehouse when you come as well. After everyone kind of gets settled in with their luggage in the cars, they can go up to the pavilion where we'll eat a packed dinner. All the meals are provided at camp except that first dinner. And so we'll eat, then we'll kind of have an opening gathering where we just go over the schedule and the rules for camp. And then we will have our opening event, which is usually crazy and fun. And then campers will move into their cabins. And after they move in, we'll come back for worship that night. So that's kind of the opening night. Number 2, health and safety. We're thankfully kind of moving beyond COVID and the pandemic, but it's always good to say if your kids are sick, they have a fever, if they have symptoms, please be cautious. And it's better to not spread a whole bunch of sickness. So if you are concerned or your kids are sick, please talk to me and let me know. Talk to Sam, talk to the nurse, and we will work that out as best as we can. Horse Valley is a beautiful place where we have camp. It's a privately owned acreage, and the owners allow us to have camp there every year, and we're very thankful for that. And it's a beautiful acreage, but it also brings with it a high level of tick populations. There are a lot of deer, a lot of wildlife, and a lot of ticks up there. And I just like to let people know that we will go over with camp kind of some best practices to avoid getting a tick on you. I've been there for 22 years and I've not had a tick on me. I've stayed out of the kind of high grass areas and just on the low areas, and it's been good. But here's some precautions that you can do before camp. Pre-treat your clothing with permethrin. You can buy that at Walmart, at Target, Amazon, wherever. And permethrin is a spray for clothing, for fabric. I usually spray my shoes and my socks. That's kind of where I go. Some people spray the inside of their sleeping bags and their clothing and their chairs and whatever. But that's a good idea to pre-treat with permethrin. Bring bug spray. Either DEET or picaridin are really good. You can also get a bug lotion with picaridin in it that I found works really well, that they can put on each day. Stay out of tick-infested areas, as I talked about, and we encourage everyone to do daily checks and to go ahead and just take a shower at night, even if you're a morning shower kind of person, because it just gives that last line of defense. So with these precautions, we typically don't have any problems, but I wanted to make sure you were aware so you can prepare before camp. We do have camp rules. We kind of run camp as a high trust, laid back environment where we go into the week feeling like everyone is there to be together, to love one another, to be there for the right reason, knowing that we have our best time when we're all kind of moving in the same direction. But it is important to communicate expectations. And so we will go over those at the first night of camp. They've also been sent to you in the camp info packet. So please feel free to read those. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to read them with your kids. Like I said, we have a pretty relaxed approach. There are a couple things that we have zero tolerance on. And I want to let you, the parents, know that ahead of time. First of all is pranks. We have zero tolerance on pranks. And the reason for that is we really work hard to care for Horse Valley. These cabins that have been given to us are cabins that have belonged to people for generations. And there are generations worth of memorabilia and treasures and keepsakes in there. And we really want to take the best care that we can. So we have zero tolerance for pranks. So if you see 18 cans of shaving cream in a suitcase and you've never seen a whisker on your son's face, then that's a red flag. You want to really make sure you talk about that and remove the shaving cream and so forth. The other thing we have zero tolerance for is sneaking out at night. Campers, sometimes counselors and campers will go on an outing at night. If they want to, as part of their cabin time, they might have a campfire, might go on a little hike or something. That's okay when they're doing that as an organized group. But when campers sneak out, they will most likely be sent home. The reason is there are just too many things that could happen at night. There are bears at Horse Valley. There are all kinds of streams and places that they could fall. There are ticks and so forth. So we have zero tolerance for that. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that as parents. We're pretty relaxed, but there are a couple of things that we're inflexible about. If you need to reach us at camp, there are really no phones and there's no cell service. So leave me a voicemail. I check it every day throughout the day in case you need to get a message to your kids. And that number is in the info packet. So leave me a voicemail. Don't leave me a text because I won't get it until after camp. And I will get back to you. There are some landlines I can access up there, or I can go to where I have cell service and we'll call you back if needed. I think that's it in terms of camp details. I'm looking at, I don't see anything in the chat here, any questions that you've had. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you have. This Wednesday night, we have youth group from 6:30 to 8. It's always great to get involved before camp. So even if you've never been to Wackies before, Wackies is what we call our youth group. I encourage you to come this Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 for a great time together. We believe a week of camp is one of the greatest investments that we can make in our lives, that teenagers can make in their lives. And we are excited. Having done this camp for so long, I've talked to so many people over the years who look back to their experience at camp as a watershed moment, a significant moment where they made decisions about their faith and even about their life and what they're going to do with their time as they grow into adulthood. And what a privilege we have to do this. So thank you so much for sending your kids, for trusting us with them. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And again, please reach out if you have any questions. That's it. Have a good night. Take care.